sits out on the street, alone, hungry, tired, cold. His rags, they smell. They smell of the gutter that he's lived in for months. Shit, maybe even years. The poor man, he sits. He knows that he won't get any food tonight. He'll go to sleep hungry, just like the night before, and the night before that. And then he hears the clopping, the trotting of a rich man coming down his street. He does his best to look presentable, but he knows that it's not going to be that much. And as soon as the trotting turns the corner onto the poor man's street, he sees the rich man coming his way. He holds his hand out. Sire, I know not of your exploits or of your position, but I know for sure that it is better than mine. Can you spare me some credits so I may eat and survive another day? The rich man says, Mayhaps I'll give you a little credit if you can tell me one thing. Are you envious of my position in society? The poor man goes, what's the right answer? The rich man says, I hope that you say yes, but deep down I really want you to say no. The poor man says, why? And the rich man says, because despite having all this freedom to do whatever I want, I feel the most trapped. Because everything that I do from here on, it's only to maintain this wealth and to accrue more. And in fact, I envy your position. The poor man says, why? And the rich man, he says, because despite not having a home and not having money or food, consistently at least, is that you have the freedom to go wherever you want, whenever you want. And the poor man says, no, you're wrong too. Because if I had enough money, and for the right reason, and if I did the right things, I could really go wherever I want. I could eat whatever I wanted to eat, drink whatever drink I wanted. I could have as lavish a lifestyle if I wanted. And the rich man says, huh, I never saw it that way. And the poor man looks in the rich man's eyes and says, you know what, if you're so envious of my position, would you like to take my place? And the rich man, who's always been rich, never worked for it, just got lucky one day, made one lucky decision. The rich man started out as a stockbroker, and on his very first investment, the investment took off. It was a product for hoverboards. Everyone thought it would be a novel idea until the rich man, formerly middle class, said, no, I think that could be the future. And it ended up being the future. And, well, that started the future then. And he had never not known being truly poor. He knows that it felt better to be in middle class, but he never knew true poor. He gave his clothes to the beggar, to the poor man, and he took the poor man's rags and he sat. He had a full stomach. He was still clean, and it was great. And the poor man put on the rich man, still stinking to high heaven, and he walked to the rich man's house. There he sold all the possessions in the house, acquired all the wealth that the rich man didn't understand that he had. And the poor man, the poor man, he lived the same lifestyle as if he was poor, or middle class rather, and just used the money when it came in. Never really bought anything with it. Just lived comfortably. And the rich man, now a beggar, sat on the streets and died in a week. The the rich, the poor man, now living a posh lifestyle, he says to himself, "I wonder what happened to that rich man whose wealth I stole." And the reason I make up this story off the cuff is because I've been thinking about one thing. Because the poor could probably use the money that the rich aren't using in way better ways than the rich probably know how. But then again, whenever I read about a rags to riches story, it's like, or whenever I read a story about a miser, it's like either they were born into it and enjoyed riches, or like they just got really lucky and just were just used to being poor. And it makes me wonder, like, if all the money that was gained by, say, I don't know, Jeff Bezos, if we gave all that money to this homeless dude that I see across the street, or, not, there isn't a guy across the street, but if you could think of that one homeless dude that you always see, maybe on the side of the road asking for money or food, what if we gave all the rich people's money to that guy? I have no doubt that he'd be able to use it best. Or, yeah, I remember spitting it out one day where I said we should have more poor people as presidents or in places of power. If we could get that one guy that's been outside diving in dumpsters, all that crap, knows every injustice of the world, and we put him in charge, I think the world would be more prosperous because people like that, they know how to fix everything. They have ideas, but if we get someone that's been well off all their lives and put them in power, then they don't know what the fuck to do. Because, like, they don't understand the hardship. They don't know how to solve the problems because they never faced the problems. And, like, yeah, this may be sounding dumb from some kid that lives in a house, but I'm just thinking about it because, like, I couldn't think of anything, like, productive to do, and I was just thinking about it, like, well, how could we fix every problem in the world? And I say we should take people who never had power in their lives, right? And we should put them in places of power because then they know how to fix the problems in the world. And don't try to tell me that, oh, well, they have skewed perception of reality. They know the shit that needs to get solved, the shit that needs to get done. And I'm thinking, but you shouldn't put someone like me up there. Don't put a middle class citizen in power, no, because we don't know how to fix problems. I mean, I have ideas, but I like to think that I'm an outlier, but I'm probably not. Like, and if anything, we should get someone who has simple plans too. Like, think of, I think it was Daniel Tosh that made the joke. I know how to fix the police system. We'd have way less racist police if they were all black. See, now that would work. And you understand why it would work. Because then, like, BLM wouldn't have to matter because, like, nothing would be inciting it. And, like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'd enjoy that. I'm thinking, how many problems could we solve with just outright banning or, something or other just because? Because, a whole lot of professions and jobs have been, like, canceled or outed just because of their history. Like, if you could think of how many jobs have been lost to time then, like, you would think that some shit just deserves to be cut.